Got it.
1453. Under the name Powers.
No relation.
I was about to ask.
Got it.
Nobody's in the Charlie Robert.
Okay. Have the iPad.
Yeah, I
Okay, see.
Well,
Three of them.
Hi, Kathy.
Okay, if it's all right, I'll go ahead and go out and.
Cindy coming in?
Oh, maybe she is.
what case is this? Hi, Charlie.
Hi. 1453, page 7 at the
Pardon?
bottom. It's Q1 only.
I got it. 1453. Is he in person?
Yes.
Do you want me to wait for Cindy, or do you want me to go ahead and start bringing him in?
You can go ahead. Who's representing the district?
I will find out.
Because they're not here either.
Robert here?
I'm here.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Kathy.
I got it. It's Ray. That's gonna be in here, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, Ramona.
Hey, how'd your grandson do?
What?
How's your grandson doing?
Oh, well, they won the first round. They're in the semifinals, but they lost the first game, and they play again tonight.
No, they're playing this afternoon.
Oh, no, it's tonight. They didn't call it this week. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
What team is it?
What's that?
What team does he play for?
He's on the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Ray Lightning. Yeah.
Yeah. They're seeded second in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So
So he went through that 5 overtime.
yes, he did.
That was wild.
It was even too bad. Yeah, they're up there in a bubble. They can't go anywhere. They have places to go exercise and places to eat and places to practice, but they really can't go anywhere. So they live in a bubble.
But it's working. They just published statistics again. I saw in the noon news that they'd done a whole round of testing and nobody tested positive.
Not yet. That's what I've heard. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Whatever they're doing it right.
Yep. I think look it up then. I think the game is at 8 o'clock tonight.
I saw it on this afternoon sometime.
I think you could go on a hockey. Wouldn't. Let me get the paper.
I got it on. NBC Sports, where it's supposed to be.
Oh. I thought I saw it at 8 o'clock tonight.
That's gotta be Scott. Is that Scott or is that Jackie?
What?
Because I could hear you clicking on those little keys over there.
Oh, that's me. That's me clicking my pen. When I'm bored, I click the end of my pen.
I know.
Well, because remember at the beginning, Jackie, she had her keyboard, wherever it was like we could hear her. Remind me of the good old Fortran and Cobalt days. I was like, oh my God.
My table, so you can hear it.
No, but now you moved it, so it hadn't been as bad, Jackie, since you moved
Well, I
it.
think it's only at 6 o'clock. Okay, I'm gonna go get that thing. Just the sports section.
You're right.
You must be Jackie.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Forrest.
Oh, hi.
And you are?
Ray.
Ray.
Yep.
Where am I sitting, Ray?
Right over here, Mr. Powers, right behind the door. Can I turn on the light for a minute or?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so Mr. Powers is here for the first case.
Okay. Mr. Powers, this is Charlie Powers.
Hi, Charlie Powers. I have a brother named Charlie Powers.
Your flashlight, hold on.
We have some administrative to go through before we get to the heart of the matter, so just follow along with us.
Okay.
Opening a hearing on 2020-1453, account number 14102. This hearing is being recorded. We're the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protests today. That's myself, Charles Powers, Robert Dayton, Kathy Hoffman, Ramona LeBlanc, and Cindy Duck. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience. The survey may be completed. You may complete the survey form and email to ptad.communications@cpa.texas.gov or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. Survey is voluntary. We do appreciate it if you take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Do we have all of your evidence?
Yeah.
What's
6 a.m.,
6 a.m.?
6 p.m.
Okay.
What channel?
Valerie,
Yes, I'm here.
I don't see anything.
Okay.
You don't see anything.
Like your screen is blank?
No, I don't see any evidence.
Oh, it is here on a flash drive.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't hear that. ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing an affidavit to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66. I am signing to that effect and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I've not communicated with another individual in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I am signing to that effect, and I am physically located in the state of Texas.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I am physically located in the state of Texas.
Kathy? Kathy, you're muted.
Yes, you are
Well, I'll
muted,
go.
Kathy.
Now, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
There you go. Now you can. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know how that happened. I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I've not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
All
Hi,
set.
Ramona LeBlanc. You see
Sorry.
that? I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I've not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
My name's Val Smith. I'm notary public. I am witnessing Mr. Dayton, Mr. Powers, Ms. Hoffman, Ms. LeBlanc, and Ms. Dutt's signatures via Zoom, and I'm physically located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath.
I, Ray Presley, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board for the Cass County Appraisal District is true and correct.
I, Forrest Thomas Powers, do solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board of the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Thank you. Do you have a Texas appraiser license?
I do not.
Okay.
And he's
In
gonna
front-
sign and print his affidavit. So he's doing that right now.
Okay. I can't see that level of detail.
No.
Hey, Charlie, I'm just verified. This is 2020-1453, right?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, we're all done.
Okay. Mr. Powers, you have on the table in front of you, hearing procedure times. You see that?
Hearing procedures, I do.
Okay. This is the procedure we're going to use throughout the hearing. And you have to choose, do you want to go first or do you want the district to go first?
I guess I can go first.
Okay. In that case, you have 5 minutes to state your case.
That's it, huh?
No, you get more time later on.
Okay, if you could go to the flash drive and pull up ponds.
We don't have that evidence. Is that on a thumb drive?
Hold on just a second. It's coming on the screen.
Okay.
This on?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah,
We
just,
You're gonna see it just a second. You see it?
No.
No,
We see it from across the room, but we cannot read a single thing.
yeah, I mean,
I see somebody over there, but I can't read anything.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to give me a second because I don't know if I can share this, can I? Can I share this?
I have no idea.
I don't think I can share this.
Cindy,
Let me look, hold on.
Yeah.
whole thing, I've got
Cindy,
photos on this, so we're gonna
I
have
can't
this.
share this.
Cindy,
Are you saying Sid?
Cindy. Cindy,
It's not gonna
Yes.
Yeah. You haven't started this time yet, have you?
No,
Oh, good.
no, until she got up, whatever, because sometimes that takes a little while.
Yeah, and
Up
the
there?
last time,
No, I can't share that screen.
well, you're gonna have to move the camera up so we can see the pictures.
Oh, Ray's getting aim in just a second.
It almost seems like y'all were able to, though.
Just move the camera up.
Yes, that's what we do.
Oh, they do move the camera up, so we didn't know.
All right, we ready for that?
Yeah.
When you share this one, then the camera will just when you're putting it up.
You go through these fairly fast, because I got lots of.
We're gonna have to give me just a second. We're trying to figure out how to get this up here.
Okay. All right, so now you need to direct me how to do this.
Can you move up a little?
Move the camera to the left a little bit, Ray. Right about there.
Can you get a little closer?
I can't see anything. I can only see the big picto screen.
Yeah, me and Kathy don't get to see anything.
Well, now they just took us out. Now all I see.
Because I'm trying to figure out how to share it.
Okay.
There you go.
Now I can see.
How's the screen?
Are you good?
Yeah,
No,
No,
it's not in the big screen.
for a minute I could see it.
Yeah, and then it went away.
Wait,
Right.
maybe we
The
quit.
problem is, it's,
Talking.
Well, because you're talking.
Okay, put it to spotlight this one.
Okay, you want to come back here because it's
Yep.
not.
We can see it now, at least I can.
went away.
Oh, one way again.
I did, I'm sure already, but.
Glitches in the Zoom system. All right, how's that?
That's
Okay.
fine.
There it is.
Better?
And it's staying.
Thanks.
You are up. Yeah, you're awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so start the clock. Let's go.
All right.
This photo basically shows that, the driveway that was built, on the adjoining property is elevated, so everything that drains from my property is, gets collected in a pond every time it rains. Along this side and on the adjacent property to the northwest. So I've got two, if you can go, keep on going. This is, that's a picture of my pole barn after Harvey, and this is one of the ponds on the property. That's another pond on the property. Go back to the previous shot. You can see the other road there. So everything that comes from the adjoining property is all flooded into my property, and it stays flooded for most of the time, except for, of course, the last month or so when we haven't had any rain. But so I've got 3 ponds that are most of the time, 2 that are some of the time. So every time I can. So you can just go through those real quick. And it shows various different ponds that and that's the other back lot that comes from 16th Street that drains all the way through 16th Street onto my property.
Okay.
Okay, go to utility room. When I first bought the property, we got a inspection report from the previous owner. That's in your packet. And it stated that, there had been some roof damage and some water damage. And basically, when I first bought it, you could see that there's just a little spot up there that you could actually see. It wasn't until I opened up the adjoining walls that I ended up with mold and mildew through that entire wall. And this all had to be completely demoed. That's what I originally saw when I bought it, and stated in the report that these had been repaired. So that just shows, so basically I had to rip all that stuff out and rebuild it, just to start any type of reconstruction. This is kind of the scenario throughout the entire house. Go ahead and go to the living room, living and dining. You can see that the previous owners tried to cover everything up by installing galvanized ceiling. So they claimed, oh, this is what we always wanted. We really love this. And I later found out after every rainstorm that I would get drippings throughout the things. So I pulled it down and ended up finding large areas that were completely saturated. I pulled this down, and the insulation came down with probably a 200 carpenter ants come down and on top of me at the same time when I pulled all this down. So I had to basically cut out most of the roof area, cut all that out. Once I cut that out and got the insulation down, I found out that the roof trusses had all been eaten away for several of the trusses. So I had to basically cut all that stuff out and re-repair all that damage that was completely unknown to us when we bought the property. So that's going back in, and then I went back and after I got the repairs done, I put covering back over it. This is in the dining room. Okay, Go to the master bedroom or master vanity.
So you've got like 50 seconds left, 50 seconds.
50. Same thing throughout this. I started with a little water stain at the top, and once I got into it, I found mold and mildew throughout. So every place I found watermarks, apparently this has been going on for years. I have carpenter ants, I have termites, I have mold and mildew throughout the entire house. This is a shot prior to Harvey, and I moved into my bedroom after being on the property for 6 months. I've been living in my RV, and this is the shot after Harvey. And so I had all these trees and stuff come down on top of me. So I've been rebuilding the property ever since then. So
Are these pictures as of January 1 of this year, sir?
these pictures are from when I started on the property and started doing improvements. I've taken the photos throughout the entire process. So these are time lag through the process. But yes, I mean, as of, I took some of these just yesterday.
So is the house livable now? Do you live in the house?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't livable, for the first 6 months. And like I said, right before Harvey, I actually moved into my bedroom and Harvey hit and actually had to get out of my bed and get out to the utility room.
But as of January 1 this year, you were living in the house.
I was living in a portion of the house. There's still a portion of the house that I have not been able to get to do any of the repairs.
Okay.
Were any of those pictures from like January 1st to now?
A couple of the ponds, and then I had built a addition off the back because I didn't have a garage. You can go to the.
No, sir. Okay, because you're out of your time right now during this. So now the district gets 2 minutes for cross-examine and 5 for their presentation.
Okay.
Think about January the 1st of 2020 and tell us what needs to be repaired as of January the 1st.
January 1st of this year, I basically, because of my physical needs, I had to stop working on most of my projects probably in November. So I haven't done any work since November. I just went through reconstruction knee surgery. So as of right now, I have the ceiling in my master bedroom has been repaired and re-insulated, and I've got a foam covering, but the actual finished ceiling has not been replaced with it. I haven't been able to do that because I can't climb ladders. The kitchen, I've gone through and had the same issue throughout the entire kitchen. In fact, the kitchen was probably the worst, and I didn't get a chance to get to those photos. But there was urine stains throughout there's no flooring in the entire house. It's all subfloor. So and then in the kitchen there was a vinyl covering, and they put like square tiles over the top to cover that up. So I still have part of the flooring to repair down the hallway. And then I've got the master bath area that I haven't even touched yet. It's got the big water stains on it. And I've got, some photos of those. The guest bath has the same issue. It's just, so I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I'm expecting I'll get the same issues I've gotten everywhere else I've dug into.
Hold on, Forrest. But I've got to control time a little bit. You're going to end up running out of time again.
You got 5 minutes.
Specifically, let me ask you questions specifically.
Okay.
On January the 1st, did you have termite and or carpenter ant damage to the structure on January the 1st?
I can't answer that because I haven't
That's
gone
okay.
into all the areas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On January the 1st, some of the photos that you showed us of that structural damage, had those things been repaired?
Yes.
Okay. But on January the 1st,
Well, let me clarify. In the living room, dining room, those were repaired.
Okay.
And part of the kitchen.
Okay.
So, and the master bedroom, the ceiling had been repaired.
Okay. how did you go about acquiring this thing? This was for sale by owner, this was you, this
Right,
was a
I've been
relationship?
coming down to the Rockport area for, well, Corpus, I've kept a sailboat in Corpus for 20 years. And I just-
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and then I had an RV over in the Circle W, and then my sister from Colorado, and we got together and said, well, let's buy a piece of property. We found this. We
okay.
bought it for 65,000, and thinking that, this is a place
Yeah.
that we can.
One other question here is, given this, okay, so we have your land value reduced by 40% because of flooding. We already have your land value at 60% good, 40% removed. Given that that's already in this account, let me ask you a question. We sent you a notice value of how much? What was that number?
I think it went up from 64 to 101 or something.
Okay. What is your opinion of value?
Well, I was thinking about at the point that the house is right now.
January 1st.
As of January 1st, I do not believe that there's a resale value for the modular portion of the house
So you think that the modular portion of the house is just worth zero?
at this point. I don't see anybody else going in there and doing what I've had to do to get it where it's livable. I'm a single guy with a dog, so I can put up with a lot of things.
So, okay. Okay, that's fine. Let me very quickly.
Yeah,
do two
2
things.
minutes, 2.5.
Yeah, it's okay, Cindy. The under protest is Q1 market value. You will see on the sales grid that the median value is 128. We have a value of 96 or something like that. It looks to be underappraised. But I don't want to spend any more time on these grids because we're dealing with a damaged structure. So I think you guys have already learned that I can't stand this stuff. So I'm done. I think we've discussed what was there on the first. I don't want to talk about that anymore. We've removed value for flooding on the land. I don't know what else to do with that. At this point, the district will just answer questions if necessary. And y'all can move on.
All right.
So Ray, you don't have a percent complete or anything on this property, the house, the structure?
Whose time are we on?
Ray gave us his last minute for us to ask questions. We've got 1 minute and then we're moving on to the protesters' minute. So 1 minute. Ray gave us his 1 minute.
And I just asked them a question, if there was any kind of a percentage complete on this property.
Yeah, so the standard thing here for the basis of uniformity would be that this is a livable structure, but it's got major issues. So I would be removing, I would give you an opinion of percentage at 59%, or I mean 75%, which is essentially saying 44 plus 30. What is 44,000 plus 36,000? That's 80,000. Am I right? That's
Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the district's opinion is the value of this place is 80,000. That's the district's opinion. Because the reality is nobody, there is no real value of this. Nobody knows. What's somebody going to pay for a damaged structure? Who knows? Who knows what they would pay?
Okay.
And so we just got to do the best we can. We can, and that would mean 75% complete on the improvements.
Yeah, and just one more question real quick. Is that picture that's up on the wall there, is that a current picture?
What is that?
No,
What is
that was right after Harvey. That was my pole barn and my workshop.
You don't have those any longer.
No.
And we don't have them on the card either, do we?
Well, right now, I think, I have.
Are they on this card?
Yes, that's what we're at.
There's a new garage in its place.
Oh, there is a new garage, okay.
And provided a copy of the cost that it cost me to.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the other thing. I want to make sure that, because I think you got it above what I actually paid to have it, constructed and property, so that's.
Okay.
You're there, but.
all right. So now it is Mr. Powers, you get 2 minutes for rebuttal or to state your case or whatever.
Well, it's kind of throughout the whole thing. I said, when I retired and moved down here, I didn't think that this was what I would be doing for the first 5 or 6 years of my retirement. So basically, it is what it is. No one really planned Harvey, and I didn't really plan on having a structure that was so badly damaged. But I just. And like Ray said, nobody really knows what the value of the place is until, I either pass away and somebody tries to sell it, and that's the thing, that I'm gonna be on the property no matter what until I pass away, so.
Do you currently have air conditioning? It lists on our sheet that there's no HVAC. Do you currently have air conditioning?
There's no HVAC or any type of furnace at all. I installed a wood burning stove, and that's my source of heat. And I've got 2 window units, and one in the bedroom and one in the living room.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir, you still have a minute left.
Okay, the skirting on the structure is all blown away with Harvey, and I still haven't gotten that done. I've been trying to find somebody to come out and do it, but that's not working. What else? On the appraisal, I think there was 7 structures, and I couldn't figure out what all those went to, because I realized that the modular home was one unit, and then you've got the old sunroom as another unit, and then the new add-on as another unit, and then 2 RV structures. So that's 6. So I'm trying to figure out what the 7th one was.
There's 2 main areas. I see that 2 times 2 main areas.
Right, I didn't understand that.
One of them is the metal building.
Got it. Thank you. Which is new, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's classed as a main area.
Okay.
It's unfortunate. It's a software thing.
Okay.
We
So
wish that it didn't.
What valuation do you have on that?
That's 800 square feet. Does that sound right?
That's correct, yeah.
We have 21,000 on
Okay, well, that's one of the things that I've had it constructed for 7,800,
it. Okay.
so.
A little faster.
We would probably not go to cost on that. Typically, we're not just doing cost. There's a value involved with it already being there. There's a value of that building that's separate from just the cost of that building. But maybe it's not 21. That's fair to say.
Well, there was also considerable cost to clean up all that
I
stuff.
understand.
Okay, all right. So now the district gets a 1-minute closing.
I'm closed.
Okay, Mr. Powers,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
get 1 last minute. Okay, and I'm gonna have to hold you to it. You get 1 last minute to it's your last turn to speak and convince us.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for allowing me to come and present my case. I know that I missed my hearing from last week because of unforeseen issues, but that's about it. I mean, I just feel like the valuation based on where I see and what I know about the structure itself isn't where where the appraisal district has it at. So that's neither here and there. That I just wanted to come in and show you all what I'm dealing with and let y'all do what you can.
Sir.
All right.
So now the appraisal review board, we get 5 minutes for us to deliberate and come up with an answer on your property. Okay?
Okay.
Ray, can you tell me very quickly why there's a functional of 120% and 180% on 2 of these elements?
Charlie, I'm putting a note right now and about to hand it to Scott to try to find all that out.
Okay,
We need to work this account. We need to deal with all that. We need to deal with, what, that we may have something on here that's not there or vice versa. This account needs work. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do that later.
I understand how you got to the 80,000, but I think that's a little high.
Okay,
I think it's high too, because I don't think it looks to me to be 75% complete.
No,
I don't think it should be last year's number, but I think it should be lower than 80.
I
Yes.
would say
I'm
70.
thinking around 70, 75.
I was
I
thinking
go
75, 70 is fine.
I'm gonna go with 70, so I want to make, but,
Go for it.
okay,
70 is good, Cindy.
okay, I'm gonna do 70, but Ray, you are going to go through that list, because I see things on that list that I'm like, I don't know.
Cindy, you don't get to
You
be
said
my
you gotta
boss.
go through it at a different time. You can't do it now.
Make a motion.
Go ahead, make a motion.
Okay, but I didn't hear what you said, Ray.
Because you don't get to be my boss. I'm telling you, we're doing it. Make a motion, please.
Okay. On account number 14102, based upon what we heard from the district and also what we heard from the property owner, taking into consideration the possibility of incorrect appraised market value, I make a motion that we lower on account 14102, that we lower the total value to $70,000.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Done. Case closed. Mr. Powers, you had good evidence. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
You know, we're gonna keep that drive, right? We told you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just part of the law.
Okay.
But appreciate it, man.
And in there is also the inspection report that, I
Thank you.
based my purchase on. And
Okay.
also the Carolina.
And the metal building purchase too? Okay, we'll go over all that.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.
Hey,
Thank you.
Hey, if you think about it, you should call us. You should call us, after January or something like that and let us know where you're at.
Okay.
Because
well,
this is the kind of property we won't know anything about.
I go through.
We won't drive onto your property. We
Right.
probably won't, you know what I mean?
There won't be anything done until.
Just let us
probably
know.
Spring of next year, because I go through my other knee in
Okay.
September, so I won't be doing
Just-
anything.
Just if you think about it, let us know. Okay, Forrest, appreciate it.
okay, and Mr. Powers,
Yes, ma'am.
if you would please fill out a survey, and at the front of that office, they can tell you how to get to the surveys. If you would fill out one of the surveys on your experience with the appraisal review board, which is the 5 of us, we
Right.
sure would appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. We're great, Debbie.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Is anybody else having problems with their download? Or is it just me?
Download what? The
The
cases?
evidence. Yeah, the
I'm
evidence.
not. Everything's working for me.
Now,
I don't know. I haven't, there wasn't any evidence on that one, but I haven't looked at anything else.
Well, I was trying to pull up ACAD stuff and it took forever to load, just like this phone one is.
Oh,
Hey, Mama,
mine
check
came
your-
up.
Make sure your Wi-Fi is okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
The cloud is disturbed by Laura.
That
Laura,
could be.
So Charlie, is your daughter coming down?
She's here.
Oh, gee.
Good.
yay.
What's next?
Was
And at
Mayhem
least
with
she's
her?
not living in that house again.
What's that?
I said, is Mayhem with her?
Yes,
Good luck.
thank you.
Oh, Charlie loves all those animals.
Oh, yeah. At least Mayhem hasn't attacked me yet.
If they haven't let it out of the cage.
It's been wandering around the house trying to figure out where it is.
Oh.
What's next, Beth? And this is the phone.
1359.
Garza, okay. That is
1359.
What are we doing?
1359.
Okay. Is that a phone?
7426.
Which page?
Same page, second one,
I'm sorry,
Where-
which page?
page 7, second one.
Okay, thanks.
And this is a phone, right?
Yes.
Is he in the waiting room?
No, it's, oh,
Oh, no.
Are they in the waiting room?
Hi, Ray.
Hey, can y'all tell us this thing is right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
that's pretty good.
Okay.
All right, are we ready?
Whenever you are.
Bring her in.
Let's see how that's on.
No yawning.
Ah,
Good afternoon.
Yes,
This Carolina?
yes, it is.
Okay. We have a little administrivia to go through before we get to the heart of the matter. If you just follow
Okay.
along with me, I have a couple of questions toward the end.
Okay,
We're opening a hearing on case ID 2020-1359, account 47426. This hearing is being recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing your protests today. Present on the panel are myself, Charles Powers, Robert Dayton, Kathy Hoffman, Cindy Duck, and Ramona LeBlanc. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the Appraisal District Office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. Survey is voluntary. We do appreciate it if you take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Caroline, this is very important. Do we have all your evidence?
yes,
Very good, thank you. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. And I'm signing to that effect, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with anybody in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I am signing to that effect, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in the state of Texas.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I've not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
I, Elizabeth Garati, and notarizing signatures of the board members. I also am located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath.
I, Ray Presley, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the Appraisal Review Board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Carolina, I am assuming that you are under oath as you signed the affidavit.
Yes.
Thank you. Do you hold a Texas appraiser license?
No.
Do you have, or can you put your hands on the hearing procedure times page, the chart that was sent with the package?
Yes.
Excellent. Would you like to go first, or would you like the district to go first?
It doesn't make a difference to me.
Or you get to choose?
Okay. I guess the district goes first.
Okay. Ray?
Yes, sir. I want to start off by asking a question. Ms. Garza, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hey, I'm looking at your evidence, and in your evidence, there's photos. Maybe 10 or so of them. There's quite a few.
Yes.
Can you tell me if those photos represent what the house looked like on January the 1st of 2020?
Yes. I didn't receive the notification in the mail, so my niece went down there this weekend and we took photos.
Okay, are those
Are these
photos,
still photos?
are these the photos that you and your niece just took?
Yes.
So the house looks like this right now?
Yes.
Ms. Garza, are you okay with the previous year's value? Which was, let me tell it to you, okay? It's 31,230. That's what it was in 19.
Hmm.
Are you okay with that value?
I'm okay with anything. Yes.
Well, okay, well, let me put it this way. It's my opinion that we should go to that value. Are you gonna, do you want to be contrary to that, or are you okay with let's just do that?
I'm okay with that.
Then,
Excellent.
okay,
So I make a motion on account 47426, based upon what we heard from the district and from the property owner, that taking into consideration incorrect appraised market value, that we lower the value to $31,230.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carolina, we're done.
Great.
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you guys can get this place fixed.
Yes, we will.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yikes. That was pretty quick. Let me go tell them. Here.
I'm gonna get some ice.
For your scotch?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'll be right back too.
I think she should share.
Yeah, agreed.
5-minute recess.
Oh, we don't have anybody right now?
Oh, they haven't brought her in yet, brought them in yet.
Okay, we are good till 3 o'clock.
Well, we picked that up in the left. Oh, okay. Cindy, are you on there? No. Ramona's back. Ramona's back?
What? Yeah,
We're good till 3. Did you hear me, Ramona?
yes, I can.
Okay, so we're good till 3.
Huh?
We don't have anything going on till 3.
Oh,
Oh, we
okay.
don't?
Yeah, we're on a break now. So
Oh, okay, so we're good till 3 o'clock?
yeah, I guess sometimes, does Val sometimes text y'all a little bit early if something? If
Yeah,
we-
she'll text us if somebody calls in before then.
Yeah, so I guess let's just say that again. And if nothing else, we'll talk at 3.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
We're done till 3?
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
All right.
All right.
Well, hung up, that's okay. If Charlie just get back and wonder what happened to everybody, I'll wait for him.
Okay.
I don't know, it's so confusing to have this
Is Thursday the last day? Or do we-
Monday.
Monday's the last day. And that's great.
We had 93 left as of this morning. There's
And,
23 today.
10 or 12 of those was Minjaris.
There's 22 or 3 of them today. I mean, it's the biggest chunk of them.
Oh, okay.
But then that only leaves Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, so that leaves like almost 70. Charlie,
Yeah,
we're done till 3,
we're done till 3. Okay.
Yeah.
unless she texts you that there's somebody ready, but everybody, the 1:30 docket's kind of clear.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Flip down the camera too.
Okay.
The 3 o'clock, hey, Ray,
Yeah,
the 3 o'clock docket.
Yeah.
Are those people, do we think they're going to show up?
I was asking about that or inquiring about that and I got a, who knows? That's what I got. So I guess, who knows?
Okay.
All
I get
right. Yep.
I get it. All right, see you at 3.
Okay.
Do the other guys know?
Yes, sir, they do.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yep.
and maybe Cindy. I'm gonna
Charlie?
get Mike.
Robert?
I'm here.
Hey,
Hey Cindy, are you there?
getting this loaded back up.
Cindy
She's
is
not,
not
she's not going to be because something, she logged off earlier.
Okay.
And, all right, so Charlie, you and Robert are there.
I don't think I logged off.
Oh, you didn't, but your video, you logged your video off. Now you're back.
Well, yeah, I just, when I'm not on, I just close the, do you need me to get off?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
they were asking questions. And but it's just the three of you right now is here.
Okay, and I'm sorry, guys, are we asking questions or you're asking questions?
I don't know, you sound like you just asked 2 questions just now.
Scott, don't be a smart aleck.
So now you're just making statements, not even asking questions.
Let's see.
Now, where we're getting to actually, Cindy, is to start up the 3 o'clock for the affidavit onlys.
Oh. So, okay, wait, so Ramona, log back in. Because then we can do the affidavit. Everybody there?
So the 3 o'clocks are the only thing that we have are affidavits. We just thought you might want to get them over with.
Oh, you're saying at 3 o'clock, all there are affidavits, so we can do those starting now if we have enough people, right?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Yay, okay.
That's and we're sorry we didn't tell you before. We just didn't know until we looked at it.
Well, I'm there, Robert's there, Charles has his thing open, so we can text him or call him. I don't think he's there, but this way at least we can get it done. Okay. Bye. Yeah, today the internet's been kind of funny. And so like all of a sudden my audio, like I don't hear half of what's being said. So I'm sorry if I keep asking you to repeat, but it's being really bad today.
We'll try to only repeat the things you don't hear.
Okay, thank you, Scott. That would be most helpful.
Was that Cindy?
Yes.
Hey Cindy.
Yeah,
Cindy, can you hear me?
yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry about that earlier. That did not come across right over the airways. I was not serious about the whole "you're not my boss" thing. That just didn't work with not being in person. Okay.
Thank you very much for saying something, because I was just like, oh my
No,
God.
it just didn't work, and I realized it when it happened, but I wasn't about to like
The hearing, I get
in the
it.
middle of the hearing, and then you just got off the phone before I could get back to you. It was a joke.
Okay, no, and that's cool.
Yeah, it just didn't work. So no worries.
Thank you very much for saying something.
Yeah, no worries.
The first case is case and just whenever you come back, it's 2020-1784.
1784.
That's correct.
We're doing all of these?
Yeah, we're doing the 3 o'clock docket because they're all affidavits.
So we could, like, there is nobody in person or on the phone or anything. Yay.
That is
Not
correct.
yay.
That is correct.
I don't
There's
mean
nobody
that
in person.
towards the public. We love them being there.
1784.
Ooh, Lordy. Interesting thing.
Affidavit only, huh?
Yay.
That's correct.
Are these all the same person?
Yes, it's an agent. They're different. They represent different property owners, but it's one agent.
Ah, which agent?
I believe it's Southland.
Okay, who are we missing?
Kathy.
Kathy?
Can Val call her or something, or?
I think she's reached out to everybody. Can you go check that?
Yeah.
To see if she's reached out to Kathy? Oh, I like how you have it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but when you get 6, somehow my screen won't allow 6, so somebody will have to come off.
Well, it's kind of good when we do it sometimes because it bumps the, if I spotlight them, it bumps the last person in, which is the person phoning in, because we try to not put their phone number broadcast or put their, whatever you might not want broadcast. We try not to have that. I mean, it's a function of this, but
Got it.
this works out well. I mean, so you can't see.
What did she say?
She texted her.
Okay.
Did she respond?
No, no response, but she did text her.
Okay,
Can we start?
sure. We have a quorum.
Mike,
Night.
so Mike's on his way back.
Now Mike's, what is it, MIA, missing in action?
He's here.
Right.
I'm
He's
coming.
here. Roll.
You can go ahead and start the hearing.
Okay, which case do you want to start with?
1784.
1784. Okay. I'll find it. There it is.
No, I just need to know that. Think so.
Opening a hearing on case number 2020
I think it'll be fine. Thanks, Val.
account 25240. This is an affidavit only hearing. Its hearing is being recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing the protests today. Present on the panel are Charles Powers, Robert Dayton, Cindy Duck, Ramona LeBlanc. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of the protest. Protester has the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to the protester with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material is assumed to have been provided with the affidavit. ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I am signing to that effect, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I'm currently located in the state of Texas.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
I, Elizabeth Mikarazzi, notarizing the board signatures. I also am located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath.
My name is Michael Soto. I do solemnly swear affirm the testimony you shall present to the Appraisal Review Board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
District Representative will now read the affidavit into the record.
Okay. For the record, we had one property appraisal notice of protest, And attached to that was a listing of the properties that they represent by Southland. And the very first one is the account in question is the very first one that we have. The account is 25240. So that's on the listing. I wanted to be sure that that was noted. I'm going to go ahead and read the property owner's notice of protest and the associated language in the letter. Notice of protest received July 20th, 2020. See attached, COs in care of Southland Property Tax Consultants, Fort Worth, Texas 76102. See attached, see attached. They have a phone number. Exemption was denied, modified, or canceled. Other temporary exemption denial, COVID-19. Michael Flynn signed on 7/22 of 2020. The account number in question is on the next page of the listing of accounts. So I'm going to list those accounts, and you'll note that the one that we're currently doing is on that list. We have 14495, 25240, 54761, and 61060. The one under question right now is account number 25240, Brian Jeffrey, 28 Blue Heron, Key Allegro, Unit 5, Lot 21, Lot 13. The associated page that was attached here, August 14th, Aransas Appraisal Review Board, 11 Highway 35 North, RE 8/25/2023 PM, 2020 hearings, temporary exemption, property damage by disaster, COVID-19, Aransas CAD accounts, please see attached. Dear board members, please allow this sworn affidavit to serve as the testimony for the aforementioned hearings. In Texas Code Section 11.35 provides that owners who suffer damage to their property caused by a governor declared disaster may receive a temporary exemption for a portion of their tax liability. This exemption is allowed for property suffered 15 to 100% damage related to a disaster. On April 13th, 2020, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton issued an opinion letter on request of Senator Paul Bettencourt regarding a recently enacted statute provided a temporary tax exemption for qualified property damaged by a disaster. Paxton's opinion number KP 0299 expresses that Texas Tax Code temporary disaster exemption does not extend to the property impacted purely by economic loss caused by COVID-19. However, the Attorney General's opinion is not binding on Texas courts. There is a credible argument that the language of Texas Tax Code 1135 does not require physical damage to the property as a prerequisite to grant exemption because the section 1135 is relatively new. It is difficult to anticipate how the courts will interpret the statute. Our estimate of potential damage for the subject property is outlined as 1135 as follows. A level 1 damage assessment rating is if the property suffered at least 15% but less than 30% damage, meaning that the property suffered a minimally damaged and may continue to be used as intended. Consequently, we respectfully request a 25% assessment reduction to each of the subject properties' market value. Signed, Michael Flynn, President. Subscribed and sworn before me, Michael Flynn, before Cindy Holt, Notary Public. And then attached to that is again the listing. Beyond that is the property tax senior consultant, Michael Flynn, and their registration TDLR number page. And that is the summation of the property owner's affidavit of evidence. All right.
Okay.
I will go into my evidence. As a little bit of pretext to this, the subject property owner's agent did file an exemption for this account. And when I got this exemption request, I denied this exemption based on an opinion, an attorney general opinion by Ken Paxton. And that's going to be basically my evidence that I present for the denial of the exemption.
May I ask you a question before you continue?
Certainly.
On page 16 of 18 in your evidence, there is a Aransas appraisal review withdrawal request, which lists 25-240 as one of the ones on the list. What does that mean?
They withdrew this protest at a previous time.
At a previous time?
Yeah, the withdrawal date is dated May 19th of 2020. That's going to be part of my evidence.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So you'll discuss it, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that will be part of my evidence. Yes, ma'am. All right, so this is the AG opinion. On the first page, it's just the property card so we can identify the property. The property is 25240. It's 28 Blue Heron. The next is a section of the tax code that's actually section 1135. This is the temporary exemption of property damage by disaster. And it talks about the qualified means property that consists of, and you can read this section, but the main portion of this has to do with physical damage. Now, when COVID happened, there was, you can see on the next page over, it says Ken Paxton, Attorney General of Texas, April 13th. So if you'll go to that, you'll see that Ken Paxton opinion is 0299. And basically, they're asking for an exemption for COVID, which is not a physical damage, and they're asking for a physical damage rating associated with that. Now, I'd like to point out on page 3 of the Honorable Paul Betancourt response, it says, and this is on paragraph 2, one common usage of the term damage is physical harm caused to something in such a way to impair its value. And then there's another highlighted section at the bottom of that same paragraph that says, nothing in the language of section 1135 evidences an intent on the part of the legislature to address non-physical damage to the property by allowing an exemption in such circumstances. Furthermore, and it goes on to say on paragraph 4, the highlighted section at the bottom says this, construing section 1135 as a whole, a court would likely conclude that the legislature intended to limit the temporary tax exemption in section 1135 to apply to only property physically harmed as a result of a declared disaster. In summary, this is page number 4. At the end of the paragraph, thus, purely economic, non-physical damage to property caused by COVID-19 disaster is not eligible for the temporary tax exemption provided by 1135 of the tax code. Signed, very truly yours, Ken Paxton, Attorney General of Texas. So there was a request by a property tax agent in the form of Paul Betancourt, happens to be a Texas state senator or representative or senator as well. So he reached out to Ken Paxton for clarification. Ken Paxton wrote that response that's in my evidence package. I'm going with that. That's going to be my basis for my denial, that thus purely economic, non-physical damage to property caused by the COVID disaster is not eligible for the temporary tax exemption provided by section 1135 of the tax code. So I denied that exemption. What you have in your hand as far as the protest is a request for an exemption, and I'm not going to apply it based on this evidence that I have at the state level. So that is where I stand, and that is my evidence.
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
Wait a minute. You didn't address my page 16.
Oh, sorry, page 16. This property was formally protested and was withdrawn at some point. Now, it's not the same as a settlement statement, but it is a withdrawal.
This year?
Yes.
Yeah, May 19th.
Why'd it come back?
I don't get what you mean it was withdrawn. I'm sorry, Mike. I just don't.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so a person has the ability to protest in and every year,
Yes.
or they have agents that do it on their behalf.
Yes.
During the year, there's so if a person turns a notice of protest in, they can either come in, they can call, we can settle, or we can not settle, and then it ends up back here, okay? Before the ARB.
Right.
Another option is they can just say, oh, you know, that one that I had over there, I withdraw that one. I'm not doing that one.
Okay, all right. It's just like when they come in with 3 properties, or in his case, it was 1, and say, you know what, I'm okay with the others, look, just, I withdraw.
That's correct. And this is it actually is their document to us that says, because they had a whole list of properties, and this is a listing of accounts on which in which they withdrew on the date affirmed, on the withdrawal date. They actually have it in that's their document, not our document. So it's even more evidence that I don't need to hear. I have a good case to say that you don't even have to hear the case because they withdrew it.
Kind of what I thought.
But I'd like to stand on my evidence that basically they're requesting an exemption, and I have really good evidence from the state attorney general that this is not physical damage, and therefore this part of the exemption does not apply.
Yeah.
All right?
Right.
That's all I got.
Okay, and
Andy?
now may I ask one question?
Certainly.
Okay, so, and maybe not just, okay, so COVID while it certainly was out there, we really in the United States or whatever, it didn't become a shutdown until March, the week of spring break for my son. So in my book, yeah, COVID was out there, but it hadn't had the impact yet on January 1st. So that's where I'm also, I agree with you. I understand that, okay, you know.
Cindy, what is your question?
There's no physical damage, Cindy. COVID didn't do any physical damage to these properties.
Okay, and Charlie and Robert, I understand that part, okay?
Okay.
What I'm saying I don't understand is on January 1st of 2020, COVID wasn't an issue in Texas. Okay, so regardless, okay, of all this other stuff.
No. The law provides for it to be filed 60 days, within 60 days of the declaration, wherever that occurs, whenever that occurs.
Right, but this was March 13th, so that's January. If you go back 60 days, that's January 13th. That is not January 1st.
It doesn't matter. This particular part of the law, you correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but this particular part of the law kicks in after a declaration has been made, if there's physical damage. Doesn't matter whether it's January 1st.
And that's correct. In explanation, Cindy. So this part of the law was made new from the last Senate bill too. And actually Aransas County was used as a model testing ground of what it would do, like how it would help. And so under that section of the law, it has to do with physical damage, even in the year, like say this law was in effect January 1st of 2017, then even in August of 2017, damage would have applied according to the new law. But so January 1 is not even as relevant as the fact that it has to do with physical damage only in regard to the exemption, in regard to the way the law was written.
So you would go on this, you would go retro?
Right. The way the law is written, and this is in my evidence, it talks about tangible personal property or an improvement of real property or a manufactured home. And then it talks about a declared disaster. And then it talks about the number of days in which you can do it. And it says to be adopted not later than the 60th day after the date the governor first declares the territory in the taxing unit to be declared a disaster. So So like if this law had applied, like if it was in effect on January 1 of 17, this would have been like very helpful to the citizens of Aransas County. Ultimately, the disaster rating, if you actually look at the level 1, 2, 3, and 4, our damage ratings were based off of this. You see what I'm saying? So the person that actually drafted this was Representative Shine, and I actually went to his office and we talked about damage ratings, and we call them Harvey codes. Remember our Harvey codes of 75% or 95%, or, you know, that's what these are based on. We wrote this law. Like basically, I didn't write it. Representative Shine wrote it. But this was integral in the part, we were used as a testing ground for this kind of stuff. So, but it had to do with physical damage only, and that's my only point. Okay?
Yep.
All right, so they did their letter, you did your rebuttal. So basically, I guess I'm gonna make a motion. And this would be an exemption. This is called an exemption.
Yes, the protest was actually exemption was denied, modified, or canceled, or temporary exemption denial for COVID-19 was other. Those were the two boxes checked.
Okay. So on account 25240, based upon what we heard from the property owners and or their agent through affidavit and the appraisal district, taking into consideration any possible items, including other exemption being denied, temporary disaster damage, I make a motion that we let the 2020 value stand at the current $630,980.
I'll second that.
You have to talk about the denial of the exemption. That's what's under protest, not market value. Please.
I didn't, okay. I'm sorry, I thought I said exemption was denied. Okay, so.
I'm sorry if I didn't hear that. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
No. So the, based upon what we heard, taking into consideration the possibility, including, looking at the possibility that the exemption was denied, modified, or canceled, I make a motion that we still leave the 2020 value at $630,980.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. 1787,
Yes.
opening a hearing on 2020-1787. Account number 61060.
Okay, well, thank you.
This is the,
What?
This is the same representative. So we'll go directly to our members who are considering the protest, have not communicated with anyone about the protest, and are signing an affidavit to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F. I am signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
Excuse me, Charlie, but what account number are we on?
We're on case ID 1787, account 61060.
Page 8, number 2.
What is it, page what?
Page 8.
Number 2.
1787, is that what you said it was?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I did my affidavit.
Yeah, I'll go next. I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in the state of Texas.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, located in Texas.
I,
Sorry.
Ramona LeBlanc. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
I, Cindy Dutt, do solemnly swear I've not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F, and I am signing to that effect. And I am physically located in Texas.
I, Elizabeth Garazi, am notarizing the board member signatures. I also am located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath.
My name is Michael Soto. Do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
District representative will now read the affidavit into the record.
Okay, the affidavit is as such. August 14, 2020, appraisal, Aransas Appraisal Review Board, 2020 ARB hearings, temporary exemption damage by disaster, COVID-19, Aransas CAD accounts, please see attached. Dear board members, please allow this sworn affidavit to serve as the testimony for the aforementioned hearings. Texas Tax Code 1135 provides that property owners who suffer damage to their property caused by a governor declared disaster may receive a temporary exemption for a portion of their tax liability. This exemption is allowed for properties that suffered 15 to 100% damage related to the disaster. On April 13, 2020, the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton issued an opinion letter on the request of Senator Paul Bettencourt regarding a recently enacted statute providing a temporary tax exemption for qualified property damaged by disaster. Paxton's opinion KP 0299 expresses that Texas Tax Code temporary disaster does not extend to the property impacted purely by economic loss caused by COVID-19. However, the Attorney General's opinion is not binding through Texas courts, on Texas courts. There's a credible argument that the language of the Texas Tax Code 1135 does not require physical damage to a property as a prerequisite to grant the exemption. Because Section 1135 is relatively new, it is difficult to anticipate how the courts will interpret the statute. Our estimate of potential damage for the subject property is outlined in Section 1135 as follows. A level 1 damage assessment rating if the property is at least 15%, but less than 30% damage, meaning that the property suffered a minimal damage and may continue to be used as intended. Consequently, we respectfully request a 25% assessment reduction to each of the subject properties' 2020 market value. Michael Flynn, President. Sworn and subscribed before Michael Flynn was the Notary Public Cindy Polk on the 14th day of August. Beyond that is the four properties in question. The one that we're currently doing is 1784, which one of those is that? I guess it's
None of them.
25240. Jeffrey Bryan.
The last one we did,
Well, that was the last one. Hang on.
61060.
Yeah, 61060, which is the very bottom of this page.
Right.
And just to be clear on the protest form, the things that are protested or is exemption was denied, modified, or canceled, and the other box was checked, temporary exemption denial, COVID-19. Therein lies the subject property owner's affidavit of evidence of protest. Go ahead.
Did we already see this property?
No.
We could have seen this property
On the income value?
for market. Yeah, we could have seen it in a market value situation already. Can you look in the account to see if there's another protest form? We're trying to find that out.
I could be wrong.
Yes, that's correct. So this has already been, there's already ARB ruling when it comes to market value. The thing under protest is exemption was denied, modified, or canceled, and specifically the COVID-19.
So we do two hearings for one house per year?
Okay, so again, I denied the exemption. So when the original protest came in, it had, market value, unequal, it had all the boxes checked. And I denied the exemption for the COVID.
For
And
COVID?
For COVID, that's
Okay.
correct. I denied the exemption for COVID. This board heard all the other things in a previous hearing. They have since, like I said, July 27th of 2020 is when this protest form came in, attached with the affidavit that I just read.
You might want that. Oh, I ain't going nowhere. Just watch me point that gun. You got to prove it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just confused because that says that they're protesting this. Why didn't we hear the COVID and the exemption then?
I don't know the answer to that. I can see the original form.
Because I don't think that this was on that form.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Wasn't.
Let me go to the other protest. It's just a listing.
I'm sorry to make such a.
We've never seen anything for a temporary disaster under COVID.
No.
Okay, hey, Kathy.
Yeah.
The board just heard another case like this just a moment ago, right before you got on.
Okay.
And so you are correct. Up until just a moment ago, they had not.
Okay. What was? Can you tell me what the ruling was on the previous one or not?
It was the.
Whatever we have on the property, I mean,
It was denied.
the ruling was denied in the previous.
Oh, the one they just did. What was your question? What was the ruling that they just made 5 minutes ago?
Yeah.
On the other property.
It was denied. It was denied. It was the 5 minutes.
It was denied. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
For one like this.
Right. Thank you.
So if I could go into my evidence, in answer to your question, Ramona, is that in the previous protest, we may not have had that box checked for COVID. So you wouldn't have ruled on it because it wasn't checked.
I mean, they can bring a piece of property in twice.
They're not, that's part of my evidence. Is I want to err on the side that you've heard everything.
So people.
They're not supposed to. In answer to that, they're not supposed to get two bites of the apple.
Okay, I was just, some pieces of property stick in your mind and some don't, and this one did, and.
Well, and almost the house before.
You are correct. You are correct that this property was heard previously.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, and it was a market value question and an unequal question, and this board made a ruling. But that's not what's under protest today. What's under protest is COVID. Okay, so in the air of trying to make sure that the property owner's rights have not been infringed, I'm bringing this to you because I did in fact deny this exemption. Now, I would like to present my evidence on why I denied this exemption. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So in my evidence, I did deny an exemption, and you can see that this is the property in question. Attached to that is the section of the code that's referenced, 1135. And you can read it, but it has to do with physical damage only. There was, just like the property owner's agent had indicated, Senator Paul Betancourt had reached out to Ken Paxton in relation to the COVID disaster and whether this section of the law applied. And this is his response. If you go to Kim Paxton, Attorney General, April 13th, 2020, it's like the 5th page down, I think. Opinion KP 0299. This is talking about what qualifies as the 1135 temporary disaster exemption. And if you'll go to page 3, it says Honorable Paul Betancourt, page 3. Paragraph number 2, the very first sentence. One common usage of the term damage is physical harm caused to something in such a way to impair its value. At the end of that same paragraph, it says nothing in the language of section 11.35 evidences an intent on the part of the legislature to address non-physical damage to the property by allowing an exemption in such circumstances. Followed by a paragraph 3 at the very end, construing that section 1135 as a whole, a court would likely conclude that the legislature intended to limit the temporary tax exemption in section 1135 to apply only on property physically harmed as a result of a declared disaster. And then on page 4, the summary says at the very end, thus, purely economic, non-physical damage to a property caused by COVID-19 disaster is not eligible for the temporary tax exemption provided in 1135 of the tax code. Very truly yours, Ken Paxton. So, in summary, for the district's position, I denied the exemption based on an opinion of the Attorney General of the state of Texas. And very clearly, they say that COVID does not apply to this section 1135. And that's all I've got for my evidence. I will answer any questions that you might have.
I have a question, Mike. So did you present all of this evidence to Mr. whoever owns this property?
Yeah. Well, the property's owner's agent knows this. And yes, they are aware because in their, if you'll notice in their evidence, they actually reference the same document. They actually
so are they saying they don't accept that document?
That's correct. They're saying that they don't agree with that. If you'll look at their evidence, they actually said the Attorney General's opinion is not binding on Texas courts. There's credible argument. So they're saying that they disagree with this.
They disagree with the Attorney General.
That's
basically
correct. Yes, that's correct. Or that's my take of how I read this.
Okay, and then also, Mike, and again, so on their form, the property owner, on the form that they submitted that gave them a hearing with the ARB, was there also where they marked that they didn't get an exemption? And you just went ahead and addressed that part before the ARB heard them on the other issues? Is that?
You mean from the previous protest?
Yes.
Let me look into that. Okay, so
I just find this odd. I found this one really odd.
It says incorrect appraised market value and appraisal ratio to exceed median level of appraisal. Go into the images. Go into the all right there. It's a protest list is what it has. Make it big so I can read. Why don't you just put it over there so they can see it?
In the order determining protest, which is down further in your evidence, only Q1 and Q2 are selected.
Right. Let me read this. And this is the first. This is the first protest. Okay, continue. Next page. Next page. Continue. Okay, do you see the protest form?
Yep.
Yeah.
These are the only two that they submitted with the first protest.
That's consistent with the final determination.
Right. And so I don't want anybody to accuse this district of of a property right, owner's rights being infringed upon, I'm bringing this to you to say that, hey, this property owner's agent says that I deny, modified, or cancel an exemption. That's what the issue is today. That's the only two. Just like the only things on that day were market value and unequal, your board addressed those two things. Now today, your board is only going to address COVID and the exemption was non-modified or canceled. Does that make sense?
Well,
Yes.
I just don't understand how you can keep coming back and coming back.
and especially because we went to the attorney, both ours and yours, and they said, if it isn't marked on the first protest form, you may not make a ruling on it. Well, here's the first protest form, and it is not on there.
I understand. I understand. I understand. I have a
And I think I get your point, but I'm just I don't understand why
Right.
it came back to us. How did that happen where two times one property comes to us?
It really shouldn't, Ramona, but again, for the purpose of, because we've never, just like Kathy said, before today, the board has never heard any COVID things. Like they don't, I mean, like I want y'all to hear the case and I want to present the facts of why I denied this exemption. So.
Well, I think that, you know, regardless of how it got here, I mean, Mike's kind of explained that, but I don't see any reason why we would disagree with what Mike told the agent.
We didn't
I mean,
in the first case.
From what I've read and what we've said, if we all agree with Mike that the Attorney General is correct and that the agent is incorrect, then we need to go with what Mike's saying. That's my opinion.
Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm not about to put my name on something that flies in the face of the Attorney General.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Charlie.
Huh?
Let's live dangerously.
No.
So why can't we just agree that
we do,
what
we agree.
What Mike
We
said
all
to the
agree.
agent was correct? Do we all agree on that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
How much longer do we want to talk about this? Let's move on.
Yeah. So
Well, because I'm confused, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
And I think that as an appraisal review board member, we should be able to discuss some of these things.
Yeah.
And this is one that I just didn't understand, and I asked him to clarify, and he pretty much so did. I get it. I get why he's wanting to listen to, have us listen to it again.
I do
too.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry. I'm doing this, and you just need to know that I'm doing this out of an abundance of caution for anything to come back on the district.
And I don't want anything to come back on y'all. I
So I made a ruling to deny this exemption, right? And so I want you to have all the evidence to say, yep, we agree, or no, we don't. It's just like, it's just like if I denied a homestead exemption and somebody brought you evidence.
Okay, can we move forward?
So was this 1787?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
it's account number 61060. On this,
Yes.
Based upon what we have heard from, and I think we even went down on its value. Based upon what we have heard from this property owner's agent's affidavit, and from the appraisal district, taking into consideration any item, in addition to the possibility of an exemption being denied, modified, or canceled, or the possibility of a temporary disaster damage exemption, which could affect the valuation on this property, I make a motion that we leave it at the 2020 valuation of $1,992,480, which might be our prior ruling.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
But is that
Case
the right
is closed.
number? Is that the number that we agreed on when they came in before, the 1992?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Okay, case is closed. Next case,
Whoa.
open hearing on 2020-1791.
Okay,
Account 88099910.
Okay.
This is an affidavit-only hearing. This hearing is being recorded. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing the protest today. Present on the panel are myself, Charles Powers, Robert Dayton, Cindy Duck, Ramona LeBlanc, Kathy
Hoffman.
Hoffman.
When did we forget, Charlie?
It's getting late in the day. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of the protest. Protester has a right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to the protester with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material is assumed to have been provided with the affidavit. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I am signing to that effect, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I am physically located in the state of Texas.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. Signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas. Sorry about the phone.
Go
I,
ahead, Ramona.
Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
Why do we?
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I'm currently located in the state of Texas.
I, Elizabeth Victorozzi, notarizing the board member signatures. I also am located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath.
My name is Michael Soto. I do solemnly swear affirm the testimony shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is correct.
And the district representative will now read the affidavit into the record.
Yeah, the account number is 8809910. This is a UDI account, and we're looking for the parent account. Is that correct? So, okay, so we're doing this on the parent account. So I'm going to read the property owner's affidavit of evidence. It reads as such. Appraisal Review Board for the 8/25/2020 3 p.m. ARB hearings, temporary exemption, property damaged by disaster, COVID-19, Aransas CAD accounts, please see attached. Dear board members, please allow this sworn affidavit as our testimony for the aforementioned hearings. Texas Tax Code 1135 provides that property owners who suffer damage to their property caused by a governor declared disaster may receive temporary exemption for a portion of the tax liability. This exemption is allowed for property suffered 15 to 100% damage related to the disaster on April 13, 2020. Texas Attorney General Kim Paxton issued an opinion letter on request of Senator Paul Bettencourt regarding a recently enacted statute providing the temporary tax exemption for qualified property damaged by disaster. Paxton's opinion number KP0299 expresses Texas Tax Code's temporary disaster exemption does not extend to the property impacted by purely economic losses caused by COVID-19. However, the Attorney General's opinion is not binding on Texas court. There's credible argument for the language of Texas Tax Code 1135 does not require physical damage to the property prerequisite to the exemption because 1135 is relatively new. It's difficult to difficult to anticipate how the court will interpret the statute. Our estimated potential damage for the subject property allows for section 1135 as follows. 1, A level 1 damage as rating for the property listed 15% less than 30% damage, meaning that the property suffered a minimal damage and may continue being used as intended. Consequently, we respectfully request a 25% estimate reduction for each of the subject properties' 2020 market value. Sincerely yours, Michael Flynn. Sworn and subscribed before Cindy Holt. And the properties in question are listed below. This particular one is going to be account number 54761. Oh, it's 14995. 14495. I'm sorry, guys. It's an undivided interest, but we have to use the parent account.
That's correct. We're on 179, case 1791.
Yeah, 1791.
Right, that is 14495.
So that's going to be associated with 14495. Thank you for that. The last page is the Department of Licensing and Regulation, Michael Flynn, Senior Tax Consultant. Therein lies property owner's affidavit of evidence. The ACAD evidence relates to the Ken Paxton opinion, Attorney General's opinion, KP 0299. I will direct your attention to page number 3. One common usage of the term damage is physical harm caused to something in such a way to impair its value. At the end of that same paragraph, nothing in the language of 1135 evidences an intent on the part of the legislature to address non-physical damage to the property by allowing an exemption in such circumstances. Paragraph 4, or the last paragraph, construing that section 1135 as a whole on the court would likely conclude the legislature intended to limit the temporary tax exemption in section 1135 to apply only to a property physically harmed as a result of a declared disaster. In summary, thus, purely economic non-physical damage to a property caused by COVID-19 disaster is not eligible for the temporary tax exemption provided by 1135 of the tax code. Very truly yours, Ken Paxton, Attorney General of the state of Texas. So just to summarize, I did deny the subject property the aforementioned exemption based on the evidence I just presented.
Okay, so on account, not the 88099.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
On account 8809910, based upon what we heard from the district and from the property owners, agent's affidavit, taking into consideration any issue, any other issue, and combined with the possibility that the exemption was denied, modified, or canceled, and that the possibility the temporary disaster damage exemption was denied, I make a motion that we leave the 2020 value at $14,065.
I'll second.
And I think, didn't we rule on this one?
It's an undivided interest. The undivided interest of the whole is $28,130 for the record.
Yeah, I think we did
Okay.
this.
Second.
It's harder because it's undivided. I just want to make that clear.
Okay, 14,060. I make a motion that we leave this portion of the account at $14,065, which of course is in total on account 8809910 at 28,000 and some change.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, last one, 1792. Opening a
Alright.
hearing on 2020-1792, account number 8810252. This is an affidavit-only account. This hearing is being recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing your protests today. Myself, Charles Powers, Robert Dayton, Cindy Duck, Ramona LeBlanc, Kathy Hoffman. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of the protest. Protester has the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to the protester with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material is assumed to have been provided with the affidavit. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 4166F. I'm signing to that effect that I am physically located in Texas.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I am signing to that effect, and I am physically located in the state of Texas.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in the state of Texas.
I, Elizabeth Tarazi, am notarizing the board signature. I also am located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath.
My name is Michael Soto. I do solemnly swear affirm the testimony you shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
District Representative will now read the affidavit into the record.
Right. This account is also another undivided interest. It's 8810252 is the child account or the parent account. So 9-2, the taxpayer evidence reads as such. August 14, 2020, Aransas Appraisal Review Board, 8/25/2023 p.m. hearings. Temporary exemption to damage by disaster. COVID-19 Aransas CAD accounts, please see attached. Dear board members, please allow the sworn affidavit to serve as testimony before mentioned tax code 1135 provides that property owners who suffer damage to their property caused by a governor declared disaster may receive a temporary exemption for the portion of their tax liability. This exemption is allowed for properties suffered 15 to 100% damage related to disaster. On April 13, 2020, the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton issued an opinion letter on the request of Senator Paul Betancourt regarding a recently enhanced statute providing a temporary tax exemption for qualified property damaged by disaster. Paxton's opinion KP 0299 expresses the tax code temporary disaster and does not extend to the property impacted purely on economic losses caused by COVID-19. However, the Attorney General's opinion is not binding on Texas courts, and therefore a credible argument that the language of the Texas Tax Code 1135 does not require physical damage to a property as a prerequisite to grant the exemption. Because the section 1135 is relatively new, it is difficult to anticipate how courts will interpret the statute. Our estimate of the potential damage for the subject properties outlined by 1135 as follow. A level 1 damage rating if the property is at least 50% damage but less than 30% damage, meaning the property suffered minimal damage and may continue to be used as intended. Consequently, we respectfully request a 25% assessment reduction for each of the subject properties' 2020 market value. Sincerely, Michael Flynn. Before sworn and subscribed before Cindy Holt. And the property in question would be 54761 with the child account or the parent account aforementioned. Therein lies the subject. Well, the last thing he has is the his TDRLR property tax consultant number. Therein lies the subject property owner's affidavit of evidence. The ACAD evidence for the denial of the exemption is as such. It relies on the Ken Paxton summary and page 3, paragraph 2. One common usage of the term damage is physical harm is caused by something in such a way to impair its value. At the end of the paragraph, it says, nothing in the language of 1135 evidences an intent on the part of the legislature to address non-physical damage to property by allowing an exemption of such circumstances. The next paragraph at the end says, construing the section 1135 as a whole, the court would likely conclude that the legislature intended to limit the temporary tax exemption in the section 1135 to apply only to a property physically harmed as a result of the declared disaster. In summary, at the end of the paragraph, thus purely economic non-physical damage to a property caused by the COVID-19 disaster is not eligible for the temporary tax exemption provided by 1135 tax code. Very truly yours, Ken Paxton.
Based upon, on account number 8810252, based upon what we heard from the appraisal district and also from the property owner's agent's affidavit, taking into consideration the marked items or written items of other and possibility that an exemption was denied, modified, or canceled, and the possibility of temporary disaster damage exemption withheld, on this account 8810252, I make a motion that we should leave the, okay, so Mike, is it 51 or is it 102 and some change, or actually 103?
103,500.
Okay. So on this exact piece of the property, that we leave it at 51,750 as, because the whole on this account 8810252 is 103,500. No.
Yes.
Okay. 103,500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I think we're done unless Valerie's got some letters.
I'm gonna go see if we have any letters or anything, and just to re-verify the schedule for tomorrow. I'll be right back.
Hey, Charlie, do you want to tell Robert about tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, Robert, we took a vote when you were gone,
Yeah.
and you're in charge tomorrow morning. I have a doctor. I had to move my doctor's appointment from Thursday to Wednesday.
Okay. I'll plan on that. Thanks for letting me know.
Oh yeah, we figured it was only fair that we tell you.
That's what happens when you blanked out early. We left and we were all here.
That'll teach me to take a break.
There you go. We showed you.
That was good.
Bring the camera by with the document.
Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, what'd you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Told him I'd bring the hammer by and I'd drop off his other documents. He's gonna be in charge.
You may not get it back from him, Charlie.
Okay, I checked and we do not have any letters to read.
Nobody loves me anymore.
Okay, and we do have 8:30s. It looks like we have 10 o'clock, 1:30, and I believe some of these are represented by O'Connor tomorrow. So just 3. So it's just like a normal day. So
all right. So for Val may not have heard, but Val,
she's in the front.
Oh, I thought I heard her.
No, Beth is here.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
switched.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay. Hey, don't treat my staff like that.
Hey,
I switched days.
Beth, I love you. Okay.
Thank you.
Val's keeping track of who's here and who's not. I will be here on Thursday. I will not be here tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And I won't be here on Thursday or Monday.
I won't be here this Thursday morning, but I'll be here Thursday afternoon.
Okay,
Let's start
it over. Charlie.
I am not here tomorrow morning. I will not be here Thursday or Monday. Okay.
Start again.
I will not be here on Thursday. I will not be here tomorrow morning. I will not be here Thursday afternoon. Okay. Start it over. Charlie. I am not here tomorrow morning. I will not be here Thursday or Monday. I am not here tomorrow morning. I will be here tomorrow afternoon and all day Thursday.
Okay.
You want to do all of us?
Go ahead.
Kathy, I will be here all day tomorrow. I will not be here Thursday morning, and I'll be here Thursday afternoon.
Ah, you'll be there in the afternoon? Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will be here all day tomorrow and not on Thursday or Monday.
So we still should have a quorum of Charlie, Cindy, and myself on Thursday then.
What, in the morning?
In the morning, and then
Morning.
I'll join you in the afternoon.
Well, and in the afternoon, I may need to not be here, there, on
Okay.
Thursday.
Thursday
Okay, well,
afternoon.
but then we'll
Thursday
still have,
Cindy
still
will,
have- yeah, we'll still have three then. We'll be Robert, myself, and Charlie.
yes.
Okay.
Yay.
And when I was reading that paper, it said that you wanted to have a meeting Monday after the hearings. I can do it by phone if we want to do that.
Sure. It's just a regular business for y'all to tie up loose ends.
Right.
Is that going to be like our quarterly meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So then will we have another one this year?
Yeah, we'll have one more before the end of the year.
The winner. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the fall.
This is the third quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And so we're going to definitely be through with hearings on Monday.
To the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
Mike didn't say that though, like, he didn't jump in with that. I don't know.
Hey, you just need to know, I get stopped in line at the HEB and get asked questions all the time. So
No, I'm sure you do.
my level of certainty goes way down when I get stuff.
No, I know.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you, everybody, for the hard work.
Hi.
Thank you.
See you
See you all in the
tomorrow.
morning.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.